What if one single page determined how much a photography business can realistically earn this year? Not how much you hope to make, but what the numbers actually support. And what if that page made it obvious whether raising your prices makes sense, how many bookings you really need, and whether growth is actually possible or just wishful thinking? This is episode 5, the final episode of our 5-part series on building a photography business plan. In episode 1, we covered the complete overview. In episode 2, we went deep on templates. In episode 3, we explained what a business plan is and why it matters. In episode 4, we broke down the most common mistakes. Today, we are showing you how to write an executive summary that removes guesswork from your business. The executive summary is not about explaining your artistic process. It's the page that forces clarity. Even if you never apply for a loan, never pitch an investor, and never hand this document to anyone else, this is where your business either holds together or falls apart. Writing an executive summary forces you to answer the questions you usually avoid. What exactly are you selling? Who is willing to pay for it? What do the numbers actually allow? Not emotionally, but mathematically. If the summary isn't clear, the business isn't either. An executive summary covers 5 essential elements in roughly 1 page. Miss any of them, and you have written an incomplete document that raises more questions than it answers. There are 5 required components that work together to tell a complete story about your business. Your mission statement establishes what you do and for whom. Your company history provides context and credibility. Your services overview explains your offerings. Your financial summary proves viability. And your market analysis highlights demonstrate that you understand your competitive position. Business plans with a completed executive summary, financial projections, and target market analysis double the likelihood of securing a loan. Even if you never apply for financing, completing these sections forces you to confront the math behind your pricing and the reality of your market. The sequence matters. Lead with what you do, establish credibility with your background, explain your offerings, prove the numbers work, and show you understand your market. That flow mirrors how a lender or investor thinks through a business opportunity. Your mission statement is not a tagline or marketing slogan. It is a precise statement of what your business does, who you serve, and what distinguishes your approach. 1 sentence, no fluff. A weak mission statement sounds like this. We capture beautiful moments and tell stories through imagery. That could describe any photographer anywhere. It tells the lender nothing about your actual business. A strong mission statement sounds like this. We provide luxury wedding photography for couples with $50,000 plus budgets in the Los Angeles market, delivering editorial style coverage and custom albums within 8 weeks of the event. That single sentence tells a reader your niche, your pricing positioning, your geographic focus, your style, and your deliverables. Your mission statement should answer what type of photography you specialize in, who your target client is, what geographic area you serve, and what makes your approach distinct. Niche-specific businesses see 20% higher customer retention rates than generalist operations. Your mission statement should reflect that focus. If you cannot state what you do in 1 clear sentence, you have not made the strategic decisions that a viable business requires. The services and target market section of your executive summary needs to be specific enough that a reader can immediately understand your business model. Vague descriptions signal vague thinking and lenders notice. Your target market description should include demographic details like age range, income level, and life stage. If you are targeting engaged couples, note that Gen Z and millennials now comprise 90% of the wedding market and prioritize authenticity and digital delivery over traditional posing. Keep in mind your ideal client is not anyone who needs photos. It is a specific person with specific characteristics, budget, and expectations. The more precisely you can define this person, the more credible your business plan becomes. Define your target client by demographics, including age, income, location, and life stage. Psychographics including values, priorities, and aesthetic preferences. Budget range covering what they expect to pay, and decision factors addressing what matters most when choosing a photographer. Marketing to a broad audience results in a 50% lower conversion rate than marketing to a defined niche. Your executive summary should demonstrate that you have made the hard choices about who you serve and who you do not. For a Los Angeles wedding photographer, a specific target might be couples aged 28 to 35 with combined household incomes above $150,000, planning weddings at venues in Malibu, Santa Monica, and downtown Los Angeles with photography budgets of $5,000 to $10,000. Your executive summary needs to acknowledge that competition exists and explain how you differentiate. Pretending you have no competitors signals naivety. Lenders know better. 48% of professional photographers report that local competition is their biggest business challenge. Your market analysis highlights should identify what competitors do well and where they leave clients underserved. That gap is your opportunity. Positioning elements to include number of active competitors in your niche and area, price range of comparable services, service gaps or quality issues you address, and your specific advantage, whether speed, style, experience, or specialization. The financial summary is where most photography executive summaries fail. Photographers include passion and vision, but omit the numbers that lenders actually evaluate. Your financial highlights must be visible immediately and backed by realistic assumptions. If you're seeking a loan, banks typically look at a debt service coverage ratio of 1.25 times or higher. That means your projected income needs to be at least 25% higher than your debt payments. Clearly state the funding amount requested and its intended use. Even if you are not seeking financing, the financial summary forces you to prove that your business model works mathematically. 40% of creatives undercharge for their services due to imposter syndrome and lack of financial clarity. Your financial summary needs concrete numbers, not aspirations. Lenders can spot wishful thinking immediately and it destroys credibility. Include these figures: projected first-year revenue with assumptions stated, startup costs or current investment to date, monthly operating expenses, break-even timeline, and gross margin on your core services. The average startup cost for a professional photography business ranges from $10,000 to $15,000, covering gear, legal fees, and initial marketing. Your summary should reflect your actual situation, whether you are starting from scratch or building on existing equipment and client relationships. For revenue projections, use realistic booking numbers. Full-time wedding photographers shoot an average of 20 to 25 weddings per year. If you are starting out, a realistic first-year goal is 5 to 10 weddings. At an average of $2,900 per wedding, that is $14,500 to $29,000 in wedding revenue. State your assumptions clearly so readers can evaluate whether they are reasonable. Your funding request should specify total amount requested, specific allocation by category, including equipment, marketing, and operating capital, timeline for deployment, and expected return on investment. A clear funding request might read, seeking $25,000 in startup financing, allocated as follows: $12,000 for camera equipment and lenses, $5,000 for website development and initial marketing, $3,000 for legal information and insurance, and $5,000 for operating capital during the first 6 months of operation. That specificity demonstrates planning. It shows you have thought through what you need and why. Structure matters because readers scan before they read. Your executive summary needs to deliver key information in the order that matches how lenders and investors evaluate opportunities. The first paragraph should answer the fundamental question: what is this business? By the end of that paragraph, a reader should know your niche, your market, and your basic model. Everything else expands on that foundation. Visual hierarchy helps. Use clear section breaks, bold key numbers, make your funding request impossible to miss. A lender reviewing 20 business plans in a day will appreciate clarity and punish confusion. The sequence of information in your executive summary should mirror the decision-making process of your reader. Lead with what matters most, support it with evidence, and close with your ask. Recommended order: opening with mission statement and business overview, credibility with company history and relevant experience, offering with services overview and target market, viability with financial highlights and projections, and ask with funding request and use of funds if applicable. This order works because it answers questions in the sequence readers naturally ask them. What is this? Why should I believe you can do it? Who will pay for it? Does the math work? What do you need from me? It's ideally 1 page, occasionally 2 pages if you have complex financials or multiple revenue streams, but never more than 2 pages. The executive summary is, as the name indicates, a summary. It is not the place to include every detail of your business plan. If a reader wants more depth, they will read the full plan. Your job is to give them enough information to decide whether the plan is worth their time. Target 400 to 600 words for a straightforward photography business. Allow up to 800 words if you have multiple service lines or complex financials. Never exceed 2 pages regardless of complexity. Every sentence in your executive summary should earn its place. If a sentence does not answer a question a lender would ask, cut it. If a paragraph restates something already covered, cut it. Brevity signals competence. Let me answer the most common questions. Should you write the executive summary first or last when creating a business plan? Write it last. The executive summary distills your entire business plan into 1 page. You cannot summarize what you have not yet written. Complete your market analysis, financial projections, and operations plan first. Then extract the highlights into your executive summary. What is the difference between an executive summary and a company overview? The executive summary covers your entire business plan in condensed form, including financials, market analysis, and funding requests. The company overview focuses specifically on your business structure, history, and legal information. Do you need an executive summary if you are not seeking financing? Absolutely. The executive summary forces strategic clarity even when no one else will read it. Writing one requires you to articulate your mission, define your market, and prove your numbers work. That discipline prevents the slow drift into a business that looks busy but never becomes profitable. The executive summary is the first section of a complete photography business plan, but it represents the final stage of strategic thinking. Everything covered in the main photography business plan guide, from choosing your niche to protecting cash flow, feeds into this 1-page document. Your market analysis becomes the target market highlights. Your financial projections become the revenue and cost summary. Your services and pricing strategy becomes the product's overview. The executive summary does not exist in isolation. It distills the deeper work into a format that communicates viability quickly. The strategic clarity required for an executive summary extends beyond financing applications. The same thinking defining your market, proving your numbers, articulating your positioning applies to every growth decision you will make. Creating strong work is only one part of building a photography career. The harder challenge is turning that work into a business that supports your life without constant hustle, burnout, or starting from zero every season. This is exactly the gap the Elite Success Accelerator is built to address. ESA is a structured learning environment focused on visibility, systems, and repeatable growth, not tactics in isolation. It helps photographers stop reacting to random advice and start building momentum with a clear, connected framework. You can join ESA for free. The freemium level gives you immediate access to the foundation most photographers never get, including a starter kit that explains how the full visibility system works and a 7-day content calendar bonus made specifically for photographers so you can take action right away instead of feeling overwhelmed. The goal is simple: help photographers move from scattered effort to intentional, system-driven progress that continues beyond the camera and generates leads on autopilot. Link is in the description. That wraps up our 5-part series on building a photography business plan. Thanks for watching this series. If you found it valuable, share it with another photographer and subscribe.